So our general procedure, I'll go ahead and start a new sheet of paper here. So the general procedure to solve a linear equation is as follows. And we call these linear equations in one variable. Okay, the first thing we do is we simplify each side as much as you can. And we talk about simplifying each side of the equal sign. Each side of the equal sign as much as possible. And what that involves is clearing the parentheses by distributing. So get rid of the parentheses by distributing out the value. Let me get rid of that too. Clear parentheses by distributing. And then we want to make sure we can combine like terms. We want to do that before we start moving things back and forth across the equal sign. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to use the addition or the subtraction properties of equality to collect variable terms on one side of the equal sign, right? And then we're going to use, again, the addition subtraction properties of equality to collect the constant terms on the other side. It's on the opposite side of the that you're collecting your variable terms, right? Constant terms on the other side. And the last thing that you do is you always use the multiplication or division properties. Use multiplication or division properties of equality to isolate the variable. Right, so this is making the coefficient 1. So we're dividing out the coefficient. Right, and of course, the last thing we should do is check our answer. Okay, so let's go through and do a couple of examples. So, example, let's solve and check the following equation. We have 2 times the quantity, y plus 10, equals 8 minus 4y. Okay, if we look on either side of this equal sign, right, we notice we have parentheses over on the left-hand side, so what should we do? We want to distribute out. Okay, so we get 2y plus 20 equals 8 minus 4y, right? So we distribute to clear the parentheses. And now we have everything, we have no more brackets, right? No more parentheses. So we look on either side again of the equal sign. Can we do anything to simplify it? Nope. 2y and 20 aren't like terms, and on the other side 8 and negative 4y aren't like terms. So now we're going to start moving things back and forth across the equal sign, right? Try to simplify each side first and then move things back and forth. So let's say we want to gather our variable terms on the left. Gather variable terms on the left. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm going to bring all my y terms over there. So I'm going to add 4y on this side, add 4y to this other side. And remember, we only have sides when we have an equal sign, right? Minus 4y plus 4y goes to 0, so I have 6y plus 20 equals 8. So now I'm going to move or gather the constant terms on the right. Okay. So that means I subtract 20, and I have 6y, this goes away, equals 8 minus 20 gives me negative 12, right? So now I have my variable term and my constant term. And the last thing I do is divide both sides, use the division property of equality, right? So I'm making my coefficient of y 1, right? So that just becomes y equals negative 2. And that's my answer. And of course I can check it. Right, if I plug it back into my original problem, 2 times negative 2 plus 10, does that equal 8 minus 4 times negative 2? Well, let's see, if I do this in here, I get 2 times 8. Does that equal 8 plus 8? Right, this is 16 equals 16, and sure enough, I think I got my answer correct. Okay, let's try another example. All right, let's check and solve. I'm sorry, it should be solve and check. You got to solve it first before you can check it, right? So I want to solve and check this equation. 2x plus 3x plus 2 equals negative 4 times the quantity 3 minus x. So I look to see, can I do any kind of simplification on just my left-hand side? And sure enough, I can, right? I have a 3x and a 2x, so that gives me a 5x plus 2. And then I can distribute on my right side, right? So I'm going to distribute that out. So I have negative 4 times 3 gives me a negative 12. A negative 4 times negative x is a plus 4x, right? Negative times negative is a positive. So now if I look at my left side and my right side, I can't simplify anymore. So now I can start moving things back and forth across the equal sign. So again, I'm going to gather my x terms on the left. So I'm going to get rid of my anything that has an x on the right hand side. So I need to subtract 4x from here. I subtract 4x from here. That gives me just a 1x plus 2 equals negative 12. Now I want to get my 2, I want to isolate my x. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I have this goes away and I just get x equals negative 14. And here I don't even have to use the multiplication or division property of equality because my coefficient of x is already 1. So I've solved for x that way. And then of course I can check, right? So I can always check. Let's check 2 times negative 14 plus 3 times negative 14 plus 2. Does that equal negative 4 times 3 minus negative 14? So here I have negative 28 plus a negative 42 plus 2. Does that equal negative 4 times, and then 3 plus 14, 3 minus negative 14 is just the same as 3 plus 14, so that's 17. Right, so if I add these two together, I have negative 40, I have negative 68 on this side. And does that equal negative 4 times 17? Right, 28, 68, and the answer is negative 68. And yep, I got the right answer.